episode of movie reviews here on GOLDEDGETV. I am Blessing Robinson. Guys, today it's all about a movie that is the talk of the town right now. I'm talking about one of the most interesting movies that has started showing in the cinemas. Hey You! Yes, that's the title of the movie. It happened to be a romance comedy type of movie. And if you're a lover of romance, if you're a lover of sexiness, then this movie is for you. But here is supposed to be an awareness for you. For you to see this movie, you have to be beside, someone, who you're loved up with, who you have a kind of, sexual connection with. But then, if you do not have that person, not to worry, you are covered. Just enjoy the movie, visit any cinema close by to you and watch this movie. Now let's dive into the review of this movie, Hey You. This movie, Hey You, was produced by Victoria Akujobi and Niyi Akimolayo. It was also directed by Uyoyo Adia. Guys, this movie is an amazing movie and it stars Timini, it stars Efe Irele, Seyi Awolowo, Stan Nze, Salami Rotimi, and others. This movie is one that actually got me, into the moment, like from the beginning till the end. First of all, it's really catchy because you get to see the graphics. The graphics has been trending online even before the premiere of the movie, and it's that graphics that gets your attention and you want to know what this movie is all about, because you could see everything shows romance, sexiness, and all that. Then if you are someone who is so much interested in romance and all that, you would get a hint of what the story is about. Then diving into the premiere of the movie, guys, I mean, if you were at the movie premiere of this particular movie, you would know that the movie is based on everything sexiness. Like you can't even finish talking about how the dresses, people looking all slutty, because that was actually the dress code and all. Then the movie itself, this movie is centered around the story of a young lady called Bianca and Abel. Now, Bianca was played by Efe Irele and Abel was played by Timini. Bianca happened to be a young lady who worked in an orphanage home and she loves what she does. She has so much passion for children. But then this organization, had a financial issue and, they needed a huge amount of money so that they do not shut down. Then Bianca took it upon herself to, get so much money to make sure that the organization doesn't fall. And then she found herself in a sex website whereby she had to, meet the desires of some of these men and then they pay her in return. But then she wasn't doing it because she loved it or she wanted to do it, but she was doing it to make more money in order to, send the money to the organization for them to continue what they've been doing for the orphanages. Then Abel, on the other hand, played by Timini, happened to be a young man who happened to be a shy person and a nerdy kind of person. Now, yes, guys, you got that right. It is the unusual Timini you would see on a regular movie. So this one portrays him really shy, nerdy, and all that, naive and all of that. But then he somehow found himself on that sex website because he doesn't have so much courage to approach women, to approach ladies, in person. So he felt like, okay, he can actually do this, on that side. And then he met with Bianca. Bianca actually made herself caramel on that side so that people do not recognize who she is. I mean, for people who will get to know her sometime. But then there's this connection between the both of them. Bianca didn't know that this Abel happened to be an next door neighbor, and then somehow they had this connection and then they both fell in love. But then there was an issue. The issue was that Bianca happened to have an ex whom they had stuff together in the past, but then this person can't seem to let her go. He still had so much feelings and love for her, but then she was already connected to Abel. But then the issue is that would she actually go back to Abel, or would she actually go back to Habib? Yes, that character who happened to be her ex was played by Seyi Awolowo. He played the character Habib, the ex of Bianca. But though they later came back together in the movie, but there was an issue because, this nerdy Abel couldn't say his mind, couldn't say what he wanted to, the things he has imagined to do with Bianca. But then somehow he got to find out that Bianca happened to be Caramel, the person he has been chatting with on that sex website. Now, there are so many things I love about this movie. Like, I love the characterization. I love the fact that they put the people who could actually deliver this particular giving to them. Now, we also saw the part of Abel's friends, played by Stan Nze and Rotimi Salami. They happen to be friends working in the same organization. One is a very close friend, a very faithful friend, while the other happened to be a snitch. But then there is this particular character that thrilled me. I'm talking of the character of Stan Nze. Like, if you watch most movies that you find Stan in, there is no way that Stan doesn't find himself into character, regardless of whatever character that was given to him. And no wonder he gets to, get so much award in the Nollywood industry. And this character he played, he gave his everything into it. To me, guys, this is more like an opinion. To me, Stan Nze happened to be one of those people that carried the movie like from the beginning to the end. Because yes, we had the lead character, we had Timini also in there, but then Stan in this character was unique, was interesting, was funny, was fascinating and everything. It gave us the content in that movie that we wanted to see. I was just thinking that what if that character wasn't there? What if Stan's character wasn't there? That would that movie have the feel that we've actually been looking at or be looking for, or there will be something missing in that movie? But yeah, that was an amazing character played by Stan Nze. Then Habib, played by Seyi Awolowo, was indeed an amazing movie, like an amazing character rather. If you have been following up on Seyi's acting skills ever since he got out of the Big Brother Naija house, you will definitely know that his performance in this movie is unique compared to his performances, in the previous movies, meaning that there's been a huge improvement on his acting skills. So yes, he played Habib, who actually wanted Bianca for himself, like alone. He also went as far as warning Abel to stay away from Bianca, knowing that there was already a connection or something going on between the both of them. But what Habib did not know was that Abel was going to be the person that will eventually come and spoil his wedding with Bianca, which actually happened the same way he thought it would happen. And that happened because towards the end of the movie, actually, Abel went, to cause an issue in the wedding ceremony of Habib and Bianca, because he just couldn't let his shyness to allow Bianca to go like that, and he eventually got the love of his life. Interesting movie, beautiful movie. Then let's talk about the technicality of this movie, the sound, yes, the music, yes, we'll talk about the music as well. So according to Mr. Niyi Akimolaho, he said that this movie, the soundtrack for the movie is not a copyright. It's something that they composed, they did themselves, and they feel so good about it. And I can tell you so much that soundtrack actually goes in line with the theme of the movie, goes in line with the sexuality of the movie, the romance and everything. And it's really so catchy, because when the movie just begins and you hear that soundtrack, you see the whole movement and everything, you are so interested to watch the movie from the start to the finish. Then Mr. Niyi Akimolaho actually said something about the houses. Now, in that movie, you would see that there was a particular house where Bianca stayed, and there's a particular house where Abel stayed. According to Mr. Niyi, he said just for this movie that both rooms were built from start to finish just for this movie. So it wasn't like it's a house already prepared that they just used to shoot or to film, but it was built from scratch to finish. And that's actually really amazing and really commendable and applaudable from the Ant Hill studio. Really amazing concept. The picture quality sweet, like clean. You would want to watch it over and over again. There are some kind of movies you watch and you feel like you're inside the movie, right? Because you're enjoying the the whole effect and everything from the movie. Really amazing concept. But then, in as much as there are things I love and there are some things I really do not like about the movie, which I'm going to share. And I'm going to start with my favorite scene in this movie. Like, everyone has their favorite scenes in this movie. My favorite scene, guys, happened to be the part where Bianca and Abel had their moments. Like, yes, the sex part was really interesting to watch. I mean, we knew, coming from, the way the movie started and everything, I predicted that there was going to be a sex scene. And I knew that it was going to happen with Abel and Bianca, even though there was a sex scene with Habib and Bianca as well. But the one with between Bianca and Abel was intriguing, electrifying, like interesting. I love that part so much. The slow-mo, the soundtrack coming in, it was really, really interesting to watch. That happened to be my favorite scene in that movie. Then, what I really do not like about this movie, right? So most times Nigerians will tell you that Nigerian movies, you get to predict how the movie would end. But then, at the beginning of this movie, I already said that, okay, something like this is going to happen, but then I already predicted what would happen at the end. And I actually felt like if Nollywood can give us something really different, whereby we are not able to predict what will happen at the end, because at the beginning of the movie we already know what will happen at the end. I mean, I'm not trying to talk down on Nigerian movies right now, but there are some foreign movies we watch, and we cannot even tell, even when we're close to the end of the movie, we can't even tell that this is the way the movie is going to end. I mean, we already know that Habib didn't want Bianca, to get together with Abel. Abel was so shy to, express his feelings to Bianca. And then there was a wedding ceremony happening between Bianca and Habib. Then what happened to Abel? I just said to myself that this wedding, the fact that they are even showing us the wedding ceremony tells me that Abel is going to come into this place and, create a scene and all that. And it actually happened the way, I thought it would happen. And then the movie ended just there. I felt like there should be more. Like, it shouldn't even end there. When I was watching this movie with, a couple of people in the cinema, like, I could hear them say that this movie cannot just end like this. There should be more. I don't know what it should be. It might not be too lengthy, but there should be more to, more stories, telling, because I really didn't understand how they just went from, because there was a little bit of disagreement. That was when Abel got to know that Bianca happened to be the caramel he has been chatting with, on that website. There was a kind of issue they had whereby they didn't talk together. Bianca didn't want to see Abel, even though Abel happened to save Bianca from a rape attempt. And guys, the rapist happened to be, a very good friend of Abel, played by Rotimi Salami. But then something wasn't just right. So I feel like there should be more at that part of the ending, even if they were not supposed to make another episode or another part of that movie. But then if it were to be a little bit more lengthy than it was, but then not making us predict that this was going to happen, it wouldn't have been bad. Guys, it wouldn't have been bad if Habib actually got married to Bianca and Abel didn't. Because a typical Nigerian will just think that, okay, because there was this connection between, these two people, that means they should end up together. Like, in the real life, it doesn't really happen like that. It wasn't like Habib was bad. Habib was a good guy. He had money. He was okay, a fine guy. So why is it that they had to just bring it back to the way Nigerians would think that this movie would end? But then, apart from that, guys, the movie is an amazing movie. It's out of the cinema already, and I don't know what you're waiting for. I think this is the time you need to hurry to the cinemas nearby to watch this movie. There is something I say about people just seeing maybe the graphics of the movie advert and just conclude that this was going to happen. Because when I saw the graphics, I felt that Timini was going to be the bad guy he has always been, because the concept showing the both of them all all in the romantic world and all that. So I felt like he would be the bad guy, but then I actually guessed wrongly, because he wasn't the bad guy in the movie. He happened to be a nerd and a shy person. comment section. Tell me what you love about this movie and what you do not love about this movie. I mean, if you've seen the movie already, yes, do that immediately. And if you've not, hurry now, go watch the movie and hurry back to my comment section to tell me what you think about the movie, what you love, what you do not love, your favorite character, your favorite scene, and everything. Let's keep the comment section buzzing, guys.